K&N filter, clean, awesome. So just decided to clean it up here. Bought this stuff a little while back. These filters clog up so fast. I'm not a big fan of the K&N filter. The new AM dry flows, I'm going to give those a shot next. They seem to work a little better, and you don't have to use any oil with them. They're oilless, which I really like. But this came with the intake kit I bought for the car from Powerhouse Racing. So next one I'm going to get, I'm going to try the AM dry flow. But figured might as well give it a shot. Actually worked pretty well, but now I got to put oil on it and I'll be good to go. We got a bunch of random stuff sitting here. Intake tube needs to be put back on, so let's go ahead and grab this. Sit like this, and let's spray some shit on that and get it back on. Just going to spray some oil on this quick. I do it over a bucket because whenever I overspray, it gets everywhere, and always wear a glove with this stuff. I used to do this all the time when I had my first car, my Celica. I had an intake on it, and that was an InGen intake, but it used the same style filter, and you had to clean it, spray it, etc. So I always clean it over buckets. So whatever overspray does go inside here. This is my oil or throwaway bucket. Alright, so I'm all done spraying it now. So what I'm going to do next here is I'm going to go ahead and sit it like this inside my wash tub over here. The reason I'm going to do that, any excess oil should soak down to the rest of the fins. I have set it right on the intake before. The problem is that oil hasn't fully soaked in yet. It'll find the one point where it needs to all collect together, and it will drip down on your body. Now, hopefully I didn't spray any excess, so it shouldn't do that, but if it does, I'd rather not do it on the car. I'd rather just go into the wash pan I have over there. So I'm going to go ahead and sit on that for a little bit, and it should be good. Another thing I have to do here real quick is, since I got this powder coated and stuff, I had to take out the water temp sensors in here. So what I have to do now is put thread tape on this one here, which is the first one here, and then the 3-wire one below I have to actually put on thread tape, and I need to put on a slight amount of sealant. The first one doesn't need any, but the one below actually does require some. So put some on there, and the top one I'll just put some thread tape on. It should be good to go. I'm going to go ahead and put the intake tube back on. Much better. Spraying some bolts black right now because I can't find any in the size I need, and I don't want them to be stainless steel. I want them to be black, so I just took the stock bolts, cleaned them up as much as I could, using some acrylic paint. Hopefully it lasts. Someone out there might say something better to be used, so I'm not sure. So that's what I'm using for now. I've used it on a few other parts of the car, and it's lasted whatever 15,000 miles now, and it was rubbing against stuff and never had a single issue. So hopefully once I tighten them down, which that's what I'm worried about, is chipping the paint off once I go to tighten them, because it's going to be in a kind of a crucial part, so it does need to be down to a certain foot-pound. So we'll see. So hopefully this works. Now that I put the intake back on, I redid the filter. I think it looks much nicer because it was like a gray, almost chalky color, like the, I guess, what would you call it? I guess the oil in it had been sucked out over the time and just kind of dried out. So just figured I'd done it like maybe 5,000 miles ago, not even. I figured I'd just clean it up and redo it again. It doesn't get used that much, and I think it looks cleaner once it's actually cleaned up and looks like new again. So yeah, it's getting there. Now both sensors are in. Got the top and the bottom one here. I forget which is which here, guys, so please forgive me. Jose Valle of Kazan Motorsports helped me out here. So the top one is a tapered style thread, or an NPT style thread. So all you have to do is put a pipe thread on it, or I guess, what would you call it? Whatever this stuff is. Tape seal. So put that on it so it helps it from leaking. And the one below is not tapered, and it comes with a pressure or a crush washer, but you need to also use with that a FIPG or the Toyota sealant so it doesn't leak over time. So I put a little bit of sealant on it, cranked it down, and did the same with the top. So now I can bolt this in. I have to also put in the paper gasket. Let me grab that for you real quick. So from the factory, these come with a paper gasket. Kind of sucks. I wish it was metal or maybe something a little bit better, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to use FIPG with this also, but I'm gonna go ahead and message Jose here and see if he can give me some info on that. Hopefully get back to me ASAP. So yeah, so that's next to be installed. Another random question for you guys. For my AC sensor here, I have it covered with one of those DEI heat wraps, if you can see. Is there any other better way you guys have about going about this? I don't want it to be melted because of the turbo sitting so close, and I've heard of the nightmares about this melting because of that. So I put this DEI heat wrap around it just to protect it, but I gotta admit, it looks pretty fucking ugly, and I don't really like it. So I'm wondering if you guys have any better ideas or anything else you've used that maybe looks a little bit better, or maybe helps out a little bit. I repeat, I do not want to eliminate AC, as this is a true street car. I drive this a lot, and I don't want to eliminate that, as it's very nice when it gets hot here in the summer, as it gets very humid and very nasty here in PA. So that's something I don't want to get rid of. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. I'm not sure what you guys have done, but that's the only thing I have or thought of doing for now to hopefully keep it from having an issue or breaking or cracking down the road, because it's hard enough to get parts for this car. The older it gets, the less and less Toyota is willing to offer anything for it, and there's really no aftermarket OEM style parts for this car because they only made something less than 10,000 of these, including turbos and non-turbos, in the entire US. A lot of the stuff that's on the JDM cars won't fit this car, so I'm trying to be as careful as possible. So if you guys have any ideas, please let me know. So I said I started drinking again, right? So my friend Colt, his dad, or I'm sorry, his wife's father, had this beer in his fridge. Ham's Special Light. Bruh. Ham's Special fucking Light. Alright, let's try it. Ham Special Light. Give her a shot real quick. Tastes like every other light beer. I thought it was gonna taste like asshole. It's actually not bad. I feel it looks like real shitty, like extreme shitty though. Like look at this. It looks like an extreme shit beer, but it's actually not half bad. I'm kind of impressed. Cheers. Another new thing is this. So I decided to paint the bolts for this. That's one thing. Number two is, see the powder coat right there? Apparently, there is a grounding issue with the water neck. So these water temp sensors you can see right here have a grounding issue. Since I put powder coat right here where the bolts connect, they don't get a good ground signal. So I have to grind off or shave off this powder coat here so the bolts actually can stick to the aluminum itself so it has a good ground for these sensors. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my Dremel this off on both of them, and hopefully it gives me a better ground. I had a couple people message me. I'm glad they did it now than later, because I would have been really pissed when it got on the car and I've been doing this. So I'm glad they actually messaged me. Emily from Hyperforce X here in Hagerstown was able to get me brand new V-band clamps. I had lent them out for a project they were working on. I believe it was like an 04 and 05 Mustang GT. They needed an exhaust, they needed V-band clamps. I happened to have two used 3-inch Vibrant V-band clamps. And she said she'd buy me brand new ones, so I was like, great. So she just ended up ordering them on eBay, or I think it was Amazon, I'm sorry, and they just came in the mail. So I'll have brand new V-band clamps for the car. Not that it needed it, there's nothing really wrong with the old ones, but hey, nothing wrong with nice, new, and shiny. So thank you very much, Emily, for getting these out to me. I'm very happy. Ground those down some. I got it down to the bare metal for the most part there. So now I can put the nicely fresh painted top bolts. The bottom of them aren't painted, so that should slip over and cover most of it. Now it's not perfect, but you shouldn't see most of it now. So once you're looking from the top, you can't really see any of it anyway, so it shouldn't be a big deal. But you needed that so it helps ground it out, so it is what it is. Sucks, I wish I would have known that, had him tape it off when he did it, but I guess it is what it is. I'd rather find out now than after the fact once it's on the car and be fighting with it on the car. It's easier to do it now. Got that installed now. That looks much better. I think it was a good idea actually to go with the black bolts or paint them black. I just had to be careful. I nicked this one just ever so slightly, but can't really see it. I don't think anyone else will notice it besides myself. So yeah, that's installed now and cranked down. Should be good to go. I'll put the intake back on here, and I think next, I need to take the V-band off and put, I'm not sure. So in it right now is an 8 PSI spring. It would spike to 11 PSI. I'm only running pump gas, and I can run, I guess if it spiked to 11 PSI, I should be able to put 22 pounds through it, and that should be more than enough for what I'm going to be running pump gas without trying to get detonation. You don't want to run too much, because then, yeah, you get a big, nice kaboom. So I got to be careful what spring I even put in it, because I don't want it spiking on the spring alone, and then I can't control it. Next up, I think I'm going to go ahead and install my downpipe here. Just a 3-inch downpipe. I did this, a couple years ago. I was on a budget, and I bought this pre-polished 3-inch stainless downpipe. Had a local friend, Austin, weld this up and did nice pie cuts for me. He didn't have a pipe bender, so he actually learned to do pie cuts and do all that stuff first, so kind of got lucky because it looks pretty badass when it's on the car. Now that it's starting to rust though, it's not so pretty anymore, but it still looks neat in my eyes, and it's pretty cool little feature to the car. So that's next up, and it looks like I have metal shavings inside the exhaust, so not sure what caused that, because the turbo looks fine, so I have to look into why I have metal shavings in my exhaust. But yeah, so I guess I'll do that, or I got to take off the wastegate. I'm not sure if I need to take out the spring or not yet. Well, that was easy. As you can see, it's a little bit of a cut there. I mean, it's close. Never sure why he really made it so close like that, because I have still a ton of room. I do have a heat wrap on this just to be safe, but I still feel like that's really close to that. Anyways, oh well, looks good, it's on. That was much easier. The last clamp I was using was actually a 3.5 inch, and I had to really crank it down. I had to use every bit of thread that was on it, so it's actually nice having a proper 3-inch V-band on it this time. Yes, I know I could tuck it under and it would look prettier, but I'd rather have it easier to get to if I need to take something on or off. I just think it looks okay. It's not gonna hurt anything, so as long as I can get to it, it's all I care about right now. So that's where we're at with that, and I guess next I need to put on the drive shaft and I need to put on the mid-pipe. So yeah, the mid-pipe is a V-band from the downpipe to a 2-bolt to attach to that. I have an HKS Carbon TI exhaust, and the 2-bolt leaks horribly. So it just, I don't know, I think when we made the downpipe and mid-pipe, they're off slightly, and it just always leaves enough that you can just hear it, the exhaust coming out of it, and you can actually see the black from where the exhaust has been coming out of the 2-bolt flanges. So I'm not sure if I want to cut that off, honestly, and have TJ come over and weld a V-band on it yet. I might actually just have him do that. I don't really want to, because I don't really want to spend any more money on this car. I'm kind of done. Like, I love the car to death and I love working on it, but I'm ready to go on to the next project. I'm ready to turn it on, ready for it to make noise, ready to get it tuned, and then I'm ready to kind of move on to the next car. I want to do something maybe a little bit nicer this next time, maybe something fancier. Maybe that's something you guys can give me help with. I looked at the Cadillac CTS-V, but I'm being honest, American quality, in my opinion, is just shit. I've been in the cars, they're neat, and they're nice, they're cool. But, I mean, after just 5 years I've been in one, and like, even with less than 50,000 miles, it's definitely still a GM product. And I have friends that are diehard, I have friends that sell GM, and this is nothing against those people, but, I mean, the quality just isn't there. It's kind of like when I get into an Audi or a German car. Those interiors are amazing, but 50,000 miles from now, those cars are junk. So I want to stick with Toyota or Honda or something like that, but those guys don't really make anything cool anymore. Nissan, in my opinion, doesn't make a very high quality vehicle either. So I'm kind of tossed up right now on what to do next. Do I do another old car? I thought about doing a Celica All-Track. That would be a cool car to do. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Give me some ideas. I would like to invest in something else cool. I'm actually starting my new job here soon. I actually just got a job with PennDOT, so I'll be starting that here shortly, and they're giving me a good bit more money than I'm making now, so I have more money to blow on cars, which, once again, my wife doesn't see this, because then she's going to be like, Ryan, why are you spending so much money on cars? I ended up just selling the AM Infinity patch harness, so let's go ahead and grab this real quick. This is now sold, so I'm going to go ahead and package this up for the customer. Actually got a nice profit on this, so kind of sad to see it go, as it's a really quality piece. Shouldn't say sad to see it go, as it's going to be nice to have my new harness, but this actually worked really well for me, and I hope the guy that gets it likes as much as I did. So, yep, electric wiring. It was awesome. Peace, brother. I'll wrap it up for, I think, this one, guys. I don't think there's really anything else I really want to go over. Fuel pressure regulator hanger should be here tomorrow. Harness should be here soon. Oh, one other fuck up I had. Hold on. As I did screw up timing, it's off one tooth, so that was a stupid thing I did. As you guys see, I try to be as honest as I possibly can with you. I see too many other, how do I put this? Too many other maybe YouTube channels, or too many other people that try to hide and say, oh, you need to do it this way, or that's the only way to do it. I've never made this mistake, and I have to say to them, bullshit. Everyone makes mistakes, everyone's human. Some people are better at this than others. I'm not perfect, I can tell you right now I'm not perfect at this. There's people out there much better at this, and that's why I'm not a mechanic, but I try to learn along the way. I try to get better and better at this because I love working on my car. I love wrenching. I love this car. Like, this is everything I do. My wife knows how much I'm into cars. She appreciates how much I actually devote time to it. So this is my dream. This is, if I could do this for a living and help people out and work on cars all the time, it would be a dream for me. Do I ever see that really happening? No. But I'm going to do whatever I can to keep pushing towards that and keep trying to help everyone else out. So if there's anything else you guys need, as usual, please message me. Please like and subscribe to the channel and share away so maybe I can help someone else out. Thank you very much and have a great day.